Today we will need a couple of props. We need a yoga block and a yoga strap with a loop made, okay? So make a loop with your strap. We're going to step into it and put it around the thighs. We're exploring chair pose in a couple of different ways today. So we'll start actually with the block. Standing, if you need support, have it nearby. And bring your feet a little closer than hip distance and put the block right above your knees in between your thighs. And just squeeze into the block and find your mountain pose. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths before we move today. So breathe in through the nose and let it go with a big sigh out of your mouth. Again, breathing in, filling up with air. Exhale, let it go. Releasing any tension from your body. One last big breath in. And as you exhale, just let it all go out of your mouth. Shoulders down. And we are ready for our practice today. So you can just continue to squeeze into that block. Check in that your feet are grounded down into the mat, the tripod of each foot, so the outer heel is pressing down and the base of the big toe and the pinky while we squeeze that block. Take your hands to your heart and beginning with dynamic utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale where you are. Exhale, sit down and back into your chair as you squeeze the block. And then inhale, slowly straighten your legs, rise up. Okay, we're gonna add arms. So exhale, hands stay at heart center. And inhale, arms sweep out and up to the sky. Squeeze that block. Exhale, sit down and back, root through the heels. Inhale, rise. And exhale. Let's do one more round. Sit a little lower. Inhale, rise. This time, let's settle into a depth that you can hold for a few rounds of breath. So I'm challenging myself to go a little lower today, but by lower, I don't mean lower like this. I mean down and back, like you're really sitting back into a chair. I'm laughing because this block is adding a lot of extra challenge for me. So we're going to explore chair pose with the block. This is great for the inner thigh strength. You actually will feel it. You might feel it on your outer hips too and other places. And then the strap will be a different way of exploring it. Just a couple more breaths. And then on your next breath in, you can just release your arms down by your sides. Take a moment here with straight legs. Feel what you just did in your body. And then we'll set the block aside. Before the strap version, you might just want to bring some movement through your joints in the lower body. Okay, and then let's take our strap. Step into the loop, and we're going to slide it up around our thighs, right above the knees, or a few inches above the knees. And then bring your feet just, I would say hip distance, or maybe just a little wider than hip distance. And then tighten that strap, not so much that your knees fall in. We want to be able to press the legs out into the strap. So we're getting that outer hip activation of pressing into the strap. Okay, so adjust as needed. You might need to adjust your stance to whatever works for you. We're all different. We've all got different bony structures. Hands to the heart. Sit down and back. Press those knees out, ground through your feet, especially the heels. And let's keep that same flow we did with the block. Inhale, as you straighten your legs and reach your arms up, those legs are actively pressing out into the strap. And as you sit down and back, we're still pressing into the strap. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit down and back. Continue like that. keeping the awareness of your outer hips, of that active lower body strength. Let's do 2 more. And then this time when you sit down, let's hold and breathe, pressing the knees out gently into that strap. In and out of the nose. Now we're going to add on here. If you need a break at any time, take it. Shift your weight over to the right foot, pick up the left heel. So we're just shifting all the load to the right leg. And then maybe pick up that foot as you continue to press the right knee out into the strap. So single leg chair. Can you stay low though? If you need the chair to hold on to, do it. Okay, and then put that foot down, knees out into the strap, shift over to the left heel, sit back and down into that heel. First, just start by lifting the right heel up. So the ball of the foot's still down. Make sure we've got that full load on the leg and that we're not shifting forward so the quad takes all of it. We really want to get the glutes to say hello here. So when you feel good and you're pressing that knee out, lift the leg. This is going to really encourage our outer hip muscles, our gluteus medius, to turn on and support us as we're balancing, which is what we need. Now put that foot down, stay low, sit a little lower back into the heels, and we'll rise up. Big breath in, and then hands down to heart center. As you breathe out, let's take a moment of rest. We are going to do that one more time. Feel your heartbeat slow down. If you've been wanting to improve your balance, this right here is probably the #1 best thing you can do. Your gluteus medius stabilizes your pelvis. Okay, let's sit down and back. Here we go. Let's go right into it. So knees out, shift over to the right foot first, sitting down and back, pick up the left. We're going a little quicker now. Knees out. I know I'm a broken record, just making sure. Put that foot down, shift over to the left, pick up the right, pressing the knees out as you breathe and sitting down and back. And then put that foot down, sit a little lower. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Soften through the shoulders. And you can shake out of that strap. How do your hips feel? Hopefully you felt a little outer hip engagement there. Now take your chair and let's face it towards us with the low side facing us. We're going to do a variation of airplane touchdowns. Right foot in front, left foot back to warrior 1. Okay, bend the front knee. That back foot's at a very slight angle. Take your arms up, lift through the chest. Ground through both feet like you're stretching the mat out between your feet, and bring a little tuck of the tailbone as we continue to lift up through the heart. Breathe deep here in your warrior 1, your Virabhadrasana 1. Good, and then on your next exhale, we're going to take the fingertips down to the chair, lighten up the back toe and lift it up, maybe parallel with the floor, into a little airplane. And then let's come right back into our warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, shift into your airplane. Good. Now I know you might not need to use the chair right now, but you might want it in a second. But you're welcome to try it without. I'll show you what we're going to do. Let's do one more round. And we'll hold that leg up, a little soft bend in your right knee. Right hand can hold onto the chair, left hand to your hip. Okay? So the left hand, the hand is to the lifted leg's hip. And then we're going to open that hip up to the side. So it's like you're turning the pelvis open. Okay? And then we're going to turn it back down and a little in and across. That's the really hard part. So we're opening the hip to the left, and then we're turning it in and across. Good. And if you're doing this, I don't want to say correctly, but hopefully you feel some nice engagement in the right leg, the right glute, a little bit of a burn. Try not to rely on the chair. Like, don't put any weight in on the chair. This is all lower body. Next time your toe goes down, stay, breathe. And then let's step the left foot next to the right and step back into down dog on the chair. Breathe, stretch your spine, and release into a forward fold here and roll up to stand. And we'll do the other side. Left foot in front, right foot back. Warrior one. Take your time setting up here. Lifting up through the chest. Nice bend to the front knee. Grounding through both feet actively. And then we'll start to flow. Exhale, shift forward, fingertips to the chair. Maybe you don't put any weight on the chair. Lift that back leg. And then step back with control, reach up, inhale. And then just play with that. Keep the spine long. Next time you come to the chair and lift that leg, let's stay there. Right hand on the hip. Lift up out of that left hip. And then let's open the hip to the right. And then turn it back in. Turn the pelvis straight down and then a little in. So that whole leg's internally rotating. And then play with that out and in. Try not to put too much weight in that left hand. And you can always take it away if you want. But I don't want to sacrifice the movement for balance sake. Okay, next time you're squaring your hips, take one more breath in and then put that foot down. Stretch back into your down dog. Release into a fold and roll up to stand. Take a big breath in through the nose. Release it with a sigh. Put the chair out of the way. Feet wide, toes out. Skandasana, our side lunge for mobility. Bend your knees and then shift over to one side, straighten the other leg. And then do the opposite. You're just going side to side. This is a great place to stay for those of us with knee discomfort. But if you want to try to come a little lower, you can even put your fingertips down on the floor and really sit into each side. Walk yourself across. You can do whatever you'd like with the feet, whatever works best for your body. I usually like to keep the heel down of the bent leg to work on ankle mobility. This ankle dorsiflexion is really an important movement that we tend to lose, and it can cause a lot of not only feet issues, but issues with your knees and hips. Okay, you can keep doing this or stay low and take your hands away. So bring your hands to your heart and work on strength. Add that strength to the mobility. If this hurts your joints, don't do it. Okay? I'm just offering up some challenging options, something to work up to over time. Next time you come through center, let's stay there and just straighten the legs back up into a wide-legged forward fold. You can release down into it. Soften your shoulders, release your head, let it hang. And take a few breaths here to slow everything down. And then you can stay standing if you'd like and take a moment to breathe standing, or come down to a seat for a seated shavasana, a seated savasana, that too. Find stillness. How does it feel to be still after all of that movement and breath and strength work? Feel into every part of your body. And please acknowledge yourself for choosing to get on your mat today. It is not always easy. So please give yourself a moment of acknowledgement. And then we'll bring our hands together, touching in front of our hearts. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste. Hi, Mikah here. If you enjoyed this class, it's actually part of a full 7-day stiff hip relief plan inside my membership, Lifelong Yoga. So I'd love to welcome you as a member. You can go to lifelongyogaonline.com for more information. But I also have a lot of classes focused on the hips right here on YouTube. So if you'd like to check those out, I'll put the playlist right here. And those are all therapeutic, gentle yoga classes to make you feel so much better in your body. So I really appreciate you stopping by today. Leave me a comment and let me know how it went for you. And I'll see you next time.